Hey guys, we got Nan and Leanne's here. It's so exciting to see you guys showing up. We can hang out for a little while, do some makeup and chit chat. All right. Well, I can't share it. I'm trying to share it to my stuff, and you guys are just sitting here watching me be a dum-dum. So anyway, we won't do it. But what we are going to do is some fun makeup, right? It's Seint Beauty. It's 3D foundation. They're cream-based. Everything you need in a handy-dandy little compact. Magnetic tins. This is my eyeshadows that I have. I like to keep my powders and my cream separate. So these are all powder-based. And then this is a little cleaning towel. But I'm not doing eye makeup tonight. This is actually left over from earlier today. I just wiped my face clean so that we could just do some makeup. Mary Kate's on here good. All right, and so like this is the makeup that I'll be using tonight. I'm debating on whether to do, this is Honey, it's a new cream illuminator. I'm debating on using that one, but I'm for sure going to use all the rest. I may end up using this new one that I got in. It's called Glamazing. It's a little bit out there and popping, but I love it, and it's probably the it's got the wow factor to it, so I may just, you know, show you guys that one. But what I'm going to do first and foremost, after I look one more time to see if I can do this, I don't know why I can't. Like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go to my personal Facebook and share it. And my husband does it for me every time. I'll be like, I'm fixing to go live. And, hey, Whitney. And instead of, I got the grandbaby tonight. So instead of me doing that, I was like, oh, no, why worry? I've got this extra phone. I'll do it on that one. Because I changed my phones. But it's not going to let me do it. Or, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Anywho. But what I was going to start off tonight showing you guys is this is the Perfector sponge, okay? It's not like any of the other beauty sponges that you see. It's very, it has some extra bounce to it. But what we use it for mostly is to not only blend your makeup out, but for excess product, to remove all of it. But a lot of people, if they're not using sponges, they're not used to how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. If you see the size of it right here, and I'll be honest, it's still really bouncy because I had used it earlier today. And so it's not dried up, because when it dries up, it will be even smaller than this. Not tons smaller, but it'll be more compact and hard. You still can use it. But I use my damp for everything, for putting on my powder and stuff. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So what I've got here, you would think is a big bowl of soup, but it's not. It's water. So I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to just put it in the water. And you can't see really well what I'm doing. But like I'll get it here because I make a mess. And I'll squeeze it out, and then I'll put it back in, and then I'll bring it up and I'll squeeze it out again. I do this under the faucet though. I don't typically do it in a bowl. But just for the sake of purposes, I'm just showing you, you know, how you do it. Because this is what really makes, I feel like, this kind of seals everything. This seals the deal when you do your makeup, for it to be damp. And you can do it cool. Some people like the cooling feel of it, but I like mine in warm. I think it's totally a preference thing. But so then I'll take it and I will squeeze it. Like I think, like when you get mad at somebody and you just want to pinch their head off, pretend like this is somebody's head and you just squeeze it. And you get all that excess water out. And then you just grab a paper towel. I got the little 2-ply here. And then you just put it in there. And you can use a regular towel too. But I use the paper towel. Because what I do when I get through with it is I set it aside. And now it's big. It's squishy. It's damp. It's not dripping with water. And I just set it aside. I bought one of these little holders. I think I actually got it at Burke Outlet for like $3. But you can get them on Amazon too. And I set it in that. And then I keep this to the side because sometimes if I get stuff on my, hey Heather, hey Petey Pat, when I get makeup and stuff, or I need to even wipe something off, here we go. I got this right here, and it's kind of a little damp from that, so it works perfect. Kind of like a wet wipe. But what we're going to do, starting with, like I said, I've got my I got my eye makeup on from earlier. I didn't take it off because I just wasn't going to do eye makeup tonight. I have a little bit of eyebrows on. Not much. And this is what I use. This is a brow extension. It's Maybelline. It's kind of a thicker, I don't know. It's got fibers in it. I don't know if I can put it up there close. Not really. You can't see. But it's got little bitty fibers. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I like the thin pencils, but I used mine. I didn't realize I'd use it all. But I'm going to take a setting spray. We have setting spray with Seint, or any setting spray that works good for you will do. So I'll just spray all over my face. Sometimes I'll spray it right on my sponge. But this is how I set my makeup, and I use it as a primer. It's got a hey Amanda, it's got a mattifying effect. So I'm oily. I'm an oily girl. I have many flaws. And you guys, you get to see them. You get to see what my husband wakes up to. Every morning he looks over and says, I married and all of this. I would like to say I didn't always look like this, but I straight up did. I probably look better now than I did back then. You know how I was like, oh gosh, when you see pictures, Lord have mercy. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. Let me get my lips. I can't find it. Okay. So we're going to start with a palette. I know, right? Nobody has flaws. We're all perfect. I wish everybody's perfect like me. This is a compact, like I said, Seint Beauty. It's got all my creams here. If I was to color match you with something, I would say you really need 4 colors. Now, if you didn't care about blush or something, then you always do. Pat is the president of our peanut gallery at church, and she keeps me in line. She keeps me in check, I tell you. But I would normally match you with a main highlight shade, and these are called highlights, so your foundation is known as highlights. A main highlight shade, a brightening highlight shade, aka concealer, a contour, a bronzer. This is not something I would typically match you with, but I would suggest it because this is your icing on the cake. This is the illuminator. It's another little ad that you just can do, and then a lip and cheek. Sometimes people may not want the lip and cheek because we have the little quads. I don't have the little quad palette handy, but that would come, you know, you would get a compact credit for each 10, every 4 tens or ever so much you spend, you get a credit. And so I would always suggest going a little bit bigger because you will typically fall in love with the makeup and wish you would have gotten bigger. Anybody that's on here watching can pretty much tell you you need a bigger palette, and it's only a few dollars more to size up. But anyway, so some people may not want to blush, or they may want to only start with 4 and not go all out. And then if they have trouble areas or you know, sunspots, age spots, blemishes or something, yeah, you would go in. Yep, you would go in, and then you would you might want an extra color corrector instead of something. But like today, earlier, when I was talking with someone who was putting an order in, you know, she was like, well, what would you suggest if I do this and do that? So it's not necessarily to push product, but it's just for the things. I always want to lay out what you might like or you might not like. But if you are more comfortable starting small, start small. Usually me, I go big or go home, and I'd want one of everything, of all this stuff. But I feel like it's very affordable because the tins are $14 each, which is not crazy. And then you can build, you know, as much as you want. You can spend as much as you want, but I feel like for about $100 to $120, you can get a great starter kit. So what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to, this is my favorite brush. I love this. I use it. Sometimes I use my fingers. Sometimes I use, this is another one I've been liking, the Detail Hack. And then this one is, where's it at? This is one that I do not love, but I'm going to make myself try it and give it, you know, I'm going to give it some attention because I've tried it a little bit. I've tried it one time, really. And I just keep seeing rave reviews, especially my Seint sisters on here. They'll be using it and be like, I love this brush and it's great. And I'm like, I wish I love it like that. So, you know, it's probably me. So I may try it with you guys too, and it would be kind of like a try on with, you know, me showing you my real thoughts on it. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. You don't have to like everything, you know. So what we'll do, let me get comfy and get right up here where I can see y'all, and y'all can see me. I'm going to start first tapping my nose as I think things through. The colors that I'm going to be using tonight, this is Sunlit, is my brightening. This is Amber, which is my all over main highlight. And if you go to the website and you want to order something, they have a section that's highlight section. That's where you would get your all over or your brightening highlights. And they range from super, super light to way dark, because everybody's skin goes from light to way dark, right? So, and there's some of the really dark highlights that I may use as a contour. They all can be repurposed. Like they can all, like your lip and cheeks, you can use as eyeshadows. You can use it on your lips. You can use it on your cheek. You can use it as a color corrector, like the color Frenchie I don't have handy, but the color Frenchie you can go in, and you can, if you have dark circles, there's so many different uses that you can do for each of our products. Hey, April. So I'm going to use, this is the blush and bronzer. So this is good for bronzing and for powder, or if you even want to do, blending. This side I use for applying. Oh, Lord. My grandson's here. And I just heard a big crash. There is no telling what, because my husband's, he's in there watching him, so we'll see. We may have an ambulance trip. I may have to do this later. But this is what I use for my blush. I use it for blending. I use it for applying. I can use it for everything. And then you can even squeeze it in if you want to do the contour on your nose or anywhere else. So we're going to use this brush tonight. I may have to use another brush or so, but we're really going to highlight this one because this is what I suggest to everybody. I just think it's the easiest, the one that can be used for the most products. So we're going to start with we're going to go in with my contour first. And this is Astoria. And I'm going to kind of pinch my brush together. And I'm not just digging in, but I'm taking some good swipes at it. And then I'm going to put it right at the bottom of my cheekbone. Almost on it. A lot of people do it a whole lot higher than what we used to do. But you just look for, like I have a little shadow already. If I was skinnier, I've always had chubby cheeks, but if I was a little bit skinnier, it'd be a little bit more pronounced. But some people, you can't find it, but you can feel it. And I can feel right here. Yeah, it's my favorite too. I can feel right here where it is. So I just kind of put my finger up under it, and then I will go right at the base of it, almost on it. And I don't like to go past really where my iris starts, because if you're not careful, it'll muddy this up or it gets into your smile lines. And so, yeah, I don't really care for that brush either. I've tried it one time, and I don't know, it's just not my favorite. And I want to like it because everybody else does, so I may not be doing something right. Because, newsflash, I'm not perfect. So I'm going to go in now, and I'm going to do my contour on my forehead. And I'm pinching my brush even for this. You don't really have to pinch it for this, but I don't have just a ginormous forehead, but I just like to have that light drawn in the middle. I like it. Because I like it, because it does give it like kind of like you've been tanned in that dimension and stuff, which bronzer does too. But this is going to have a shadow, just your natural shadows. Now I'm going to carve out right, and you don't have to be super precise, but your jawline. And this is something that if you've got a double chin, plastic surgery will get rid of that. This makeup will not, but this makeup will help you to camouflage it some, right? So that's the good thing. So we like to camo. Makeup is good for manipulation. And what contouring does, hey Lindsay, what contouring does is it makes the bad stuff go away. And then your highlights makes the good stuff stay and pop out. I'm just contouring right almost on the top of my nose and barely on the sides. And I connect it at the bottom. I don't really never use this brush for contouring, but you can. I use my fingers too. And see, right now that don't look great, but I'm going to go over it with a brightening highlight when I go right down the middle. But I just get it right here on the edges. And so And I like to do some on the bottom of my lip. I don't have enough on there. Just for a little extra pout. Okay, so our contouring's done. Now I'm going to go in with my main. And so my main highlight, again, is Amber. I can wear Amber. I can wear June. I can wear Sandy. In the summertime, I can even wear Mango. And it's really orange, but the way it absorbs into your skin, and when you play with other colors on your face and other colors melt together, then it kind of all works. So, and I can even do candlelit too. If it's ever too light for me, I will use my bronzer and warm it up, and then it all works out. But if you see texture, or it feels sticky, you know, you can troubleshoot those things. You've used too much, you see texture, you probably need to shade a little bit darker, one shade darker. And sometimes if your neck's a lot lighter than what your face is, then you would just bronze your neck to match it, or, you know, take it down your neck some too, or get a lighter shade and go right along right here. Like, so we contoured right up under the jawline, but you can get a lighter shade and go right here, and then that transitions from your darker, because if you're not careful, the white will wash you out. So that way it just, it'll all work together. So I'm going to go in with my, this side. I'm just going to pounce around in the Amber. And then I'm just going to put it everywhere that I didn't contour. Now I will put some of this up under my eyes, but not really in where I'm going to brighten. I'll kind of skip that area. But I'm just kind of going over real light. And when I go in this, I will just kind of barely tap. Like, I'll do a couple little taps like that. And there's just not tons of product on it. And then I'll just kind of stipple it. I don't do a lot of swiping. I try to stipple it and push it into my skin. But sometimes when I'm blending out my contour, see, that's not super dark. I need a little bit more on that side, just to be honest with you. Now I say that, I'll go back and change it, because I've got more over here. It's always like your eyebrows. There's always one good one and one that's like the black sheep. So I'll try to go on each side of my nose. Okay, so there we go. Done. And then I'm not even wiping it off. I'm just using the same brush, and I'm going to go right along that cheekbone. Look at that. I have instantly lost weight right before your very eyes on this camera. If you don't want a bronzer, you could almost use your contours as bronzer, and it'll do the job too. But the bronzer has a sheerness to it. Like, you can wear that under your makeup if you have discoloration, and you don't want a bunch of heavy products. You could go in with a bronzer. I think I've maybe done a video on that, and just sweep it all over your face, a very light layer, and then go in with your other colors, and that really helps to even out. But you don't have to. You can do the bronzer afterwards. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to go in with my Sunlit. I'm going to use my finger, because this is a fat brush. It's fat. I have a couple others that would use, but I'm just going to try to limit what I'm using. That way it would be like you guys, that when you purchase it, what you're having to use. If you have other brushes, though, you can use them. But our brushes are super high quality synthetic brush, and they really knocked it out of the park. They knew exactly what worked best with the cream foundations. But now you don't have to. You don't have to use our Perfector sponge. You don't have to use our brushes. They just work really well with it. But, and you don't have to use our foundations. If you just wanted to get brushes. Or if you just want a mascara, or I'm sorry, I wish we had mascara. If you just want eyeshadows, you can get eyeshadows. We sell a lot of things, skincare, all kinds of stuff. If you click on the link, I have the link and on my Instagram, the link's in my bio, or on here, I think you just go up to my page, I have my link, and you can click on that, and you can just poke around the website. It says shop Seint Beauty. If you're interested in a color match, I think I have a couple I've got to get done. If you're interested in a color match, click on that form. A couple quick questions. It doesn't take long. And you send it, and then we'll get you, we'll get you set up. But you can go out there and look on the website and see what all we offer, because you would be surprised. So I put that in between my brows, just to lighten that up. So I've kind of went through here with my main highlight on each side. Down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to go in right up under my nose, and whatever that is called, and then a little bit on chin. So this is really going to be the center of the light right here. So now I'm just going to blend it all together. And I usually start with my lighter shades first. And it's really hard because I don't do my eyeshadows first, because I like to just go all over my whole face and my eyes and everything. But I just didn't want to do eyeshadow tonight, I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't gonna fool with it. I wish I didn't have to wear eyeshadow all the time, but I just have to. It looks terrible if I don't. Like I look sick. I look very weak-eyed, and more people will say, "Are you feeling okay?" And I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I just say no, because I'm thinking, I know I look terrible. My cousin April, she's Small Town Beauty, and she's watching like 6 times. I keep saying, April Miller's watching. She must be losing connection because it keeps popping up that she's watching. Don't forget to blend that jawline, because it's not noticeable when you're looking like this. But as soon as you look up at a plane or a bird or Superman, somebody's going to be like, what happened to your chin? No bueno. So I just blend it all. And see that, and I'm going to be honest, that sunlit, it looks good on most people too. And it gives you a pretty glow. I love how that looks, because I like glow. And I don't mind the dewiness and the glowiness and stuff, but I don't want to feel like I know you kept losing connection, but I don't want to feel my face sliding off. And so I typically set with a powder. Wait, well, you ain't missing nothing. I got me a new Ricky mirror. I told y'all about it. I ended up splurging because there was a good sale. It was my birthday. And so I was sending, I'm getting messages like, I was sending April some videos saying, which way do you think looks better and stuff? Because I did a video earlier today when I was getting ready, y'all. And straight up, not only did I look 900 years old, but every flaw that I had, plus ones that I didn't, was showing up. And I showed April that video, and Heather, I showed April that video, and she said, dear God, you don't even look like that. Like, what is that? It was the worst. That may be something. If anybody ever has a bad day, you just have a terrible, terrible day, and you need to pick me up, or you feel like you look as ugly as the day is long, and you're just having a bad hair day, or you're saying there's that, send me a message and say, hey, send me that video that you did, and then you will be like, I'm a superstar here. I'm a runway model. It was so bad. I don't know what the deal was. I'm blaming it on my new phone that I got. Oh, Mary Kay. We're all beautiful in our own way. May not be everybody's way. Luckily, there's somebody out there that think, like my husband, he tells me all the time that I'm just the most beautiful thing, which is so sweet, right? Because it really is nice. And I truly believe that he means that. It's very genuine about it. And then I'm thinking, dude, you're blind. But it is nice. There's somebody. I'm going to go back in with just a little bit more of that contour. I should have done this in the beginning, but I was trying. And you can use the brush, but I blended out too much. Sometimes I'll be honest. And he is very sweet. He's a good guy. He's a good daddy, a good hubby. Good papa. He's in there with Maverick right now, my grandson. I was like, you gonna be home in time? Because I want to do my Friday nights. I want to try to keep that as a commitment. I was telling Zunia today, my friend Zunia, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't commit to nothing. I just can't commit, because if I say I want to do something, everything in the world will stop me. So now I'm going in with my perfector. Exactly. I was Jacqueline. I'm going to go in. That was my alter ego. The mean, ugly hearted. She's ugly on the inside, so it shows on the outside. This Perfector sponge, when it's damp, it will pick up any excess product. Because when you feel your face, and I can feel it now. Now, if you're an oily person, you may be a little bit sticky. But spraying with a primer, hey, some people use a powder before they even start to. But if you use a silicone-based, silica, any of that stuff with a cream-based product, it will look good for a hot minute. And before you know it, it'll start breaking up on your face, especially if you are oily, because most people that are oily want the silicone primers. So you want to stay away from those. So really read your ingredients and know, you know, what's in your primer. That's why I just use a matte setting spray, because I've always done the silicone. I've used all of them thinking they would be great. And I'll be honest, I've used some with Seint, and if somebody told me something was great and worked with it, I would still try it, but none of them that I've worked has done, you know, has worked for me. Okay, so I went through, bounced around like a crazy lady all over my face. Now I'm going to go in with my blush, and the color that I've selected tonight is Hollywood. Such a pretty pink color, and it's almost got a little bit of a, I don't want to say gold shimmer to it, but it's got a little bit of a sheen. And I'm going to pop, well, you know what? Oh, I was going to say I'll do it with my brush, which I can. I'll do my brush on one side. And this is really comparable to the NARS one that's super popular. But I'm just going to dab it. Okay, so here's my brush. And I'm just going to dab it, tap it, say just a little bit. And then I will go in. Just get a smidge more. And it's just really pretty. It's a really pretty flush. And it's just almost a sheen to it. Okay, that's it. And then, also in this compact, normally I have my Bella bronzers, which are right here is one. Normally I have that. I have two of them, like in my other compact, that I swirl together because I like to have both of them together. But not everybody buys two, and you don't have to buy two. You may end up going back and getting two, because it's when you have this compact like this, to me, having two side by side, it's just easy to swirl. Because this can get... April, why don't you type out what the name of that NARS one is? This is a PG channel. You know what it is, right? Everybody knows the NARS one because it is so famous. But I'm not saying it on here. Out of these lips that I had to kiss my children with. I'm just kidding. It's not a bad word, but it's just weird. It's strange. But anyway, so I'm going to go in now with the Bella. And I'm going to pinch my brush up a little bit just to make it fit in that, and it doesn't get in on my other stuff. And then I'll just kind of put it on there. Swirl it around anywhere where you think the sun's going to hit you. Put it on. And it's very sheer, and it blends out super easy. And it gives you, see, look at that. That's crazy, ain't it? See? That looks like I went to the chocolate factory there with Willy Wonka and signed up to be an Oompa Loompa. But it blends all out. It looks really good. And if you, the creams are so easy to correct too, because we've all put on too much or done something crazy. If that ever happens, I use the Glow Illuminator and Rose Gold perfume to swirl and swish with Bella. Ooh, that sounds pretty. I use the Glow Illuminator. I've got, in my other palette, I've got two Bellas and a Glow beside it. And I swirl on all of them. But I always go down my neck too, because this is what ties in, I feel like, the entire look. And if I have to go down any lower, I will do that too. And sometimes I get my nose. Okay, so now I'm ready. Oh, look, I just got back from the beach. Wish I did. But anyway, like I was saying, if you mess up or something, it's a cream illuminator. So if I said I want to go in and do a little bit more of a highlight in the middle, I can do that. I could totally do it and just say, I want some more light here, or I want some more here, and I could add it. You know what I mean? So it's, when it's a cream based, you can still play with it and manipulate it. You got to be careful if you're building it on top of each other, because if you want something on top of it, it is cream, so it can kind of move around. Not crazy move, but powder is what sets it. And most people, if you're dry, you're not going to set with a powder, and you will have that nice, pretty, glowy complexion. If you're oily, you may want to set with a powder, but even if you are oily, when you set, typically within, you know, an hour or so, a little bit of your natural oils will start showing through, and when they do, you'll have a little bit of that glowy look too. So I always set with a powder. I say always. I most of the time set with a powder, but I'll still usually have a little bit of a sheen. I don't like it to be completely matte. It's totally a preference thing. All right, so now we're going to go in with the Glamazing Illuminator. It's this one right here. I'm actually going to pop a little bit right here. Look at this. I'm just barely touching it. I've not used it yet. I'm going to put a little bit right here in the corner of my eye. It's pretty. Oh, got a little bit more on my finger for that one. Got my money's worth on that one. And I'm going to use this little brush. This is the buff brush, and it's really good for super light coverage. I mean, I used makeup the other day doing it. So when I hadn't even cleaned it off yet. You can really honestly go back and forth between your creams and your powders with these brushes, and they just don't transfer. It does so good. If you have tons of product and you swap it big and then you don't get it off on your face, but these brushes are so good at transferring from the compact to your face. It just don't leave a lot on it. Like even this one right here, I could go in right now with this that I've just applied all my stuff with and bounce it in a powder, because it doesn't feel like, I mean, this one ain't got nothing on it, but like you can see, if I'm swirling all around, it's not going to have color on it. Inside, I put blush on, I put my contour, I put my main highlight, all that, and it just stays, you know, it stays on your face. But anyway, I'm going to go in this because I think this is a good powder brush too. We have a powder brush, but I think this is a good one, and it's got a small end. But I'm going to go in. I'm just going to barely tap in this because like I have not used this before. I'm going to tap off any excess. Let's see. Can y'all see that? I could say I got it down a little bit too low. I got to be careful because I've got pores here. And this will highlight the pores. Let everybody know I got them. I'm trying to hide them. I wasn't doing a good job going on that one. But you like the Glamazing too, Mary Kate? I think that it is such a pretty color. Can y'all really see that? Let's go a little more. I'm going to really swap it. You can't really see it on there, just tons. Okay, then. We can see that. Isn't that pretty? That is pretty. I'll put a little bit on the Cupids. Sweet little Cupid. Whole day. And then we'll take a little bit off the Cupid. And then we'll even go down the nose. I just kind of barely do on the nose, and then I like to do just a little on my tip. That is pretty, and you can always go above your eyebrows too. And you could do it on your brow bone if you wanted to. Like I said, I didn't do any eyes tonight, but you know, you could do whatever. And you can also do it in the center of your lipstick if you're doing lips. So now, last but not least, I'm going to go in and I'm going to line my lips with the contour that I used, which was Astoria. And this is the multitasker brush. And I'm just going to outline my lips. Oh, let me move those away for a second. And I'm not really overdrawing, but I'm not being real precise. I'm going to go the other end, because I want my lips to have a little bit more color. Yeah, he got that grandbaby tonight, and I cannot believe he's not been in here yet, because anytime I've come in here a couple times today, and he's like, this is my work room too, and my computer room, and he is obsessed with my computer. And he kept wanting to get over here with my ring light and all that. Okay. He's now playing with his papa, so he is good. And I'll need just a little bit more under there. And then I'm going to go in. I don't even know what this is. This is a Bite. Kind of a lip crayon, I guess. It's called Glace. Glace, that's weird. Glace. And I'm just going to kind of go over it. It's a nudie. It's a nudie color. It's pretty. I just found it in my drawer. I was like, let me try this one on. I don't think I've tried that one yet. And then this is Nude Flirt. This is Pharmacy. My cousin sells it too. Or Makeup Junkies. And this is, I like this on just about any lipstick that I put on. I feel like this. It's a clear, like a clearish brown color, but it looks good on everything. And so that's it, guys. That is it. And so even talking and stuff like tonight, I didn't go into depth. Sometimes I do more stuff. Sometimes you can do less. Sometimes you can do more with your finger. Whatever you want to do, you know, you can make it as simple. I know I always say this. You can make it as simple as you want, or you can make it as in-depth as you want. But that's it, guys. So thanks for hanging out with me on another Friday night. If you were interested in this makeup and you got more questions or whatever, shoot me a message. You can comment below. If you want a color match, like I said, click on the link, submit a color match, and we'll get you fixed up. And don't worry about sending the selfies. I'm telling you. Nobody likes their selfie. Very few people. So don't worry about that. It's, you know, I mean, I don't know. I go out without makeup a lot. And I wear a hat without makeup a lot. Sometimes because I'm thinking, oh, I look exactly terrible today. But, I mean, I still go out without it. So, and I run into everybody I know at Walmart every time I look the absolute worst. So, if you send me a selfie, I'm going to see it. I may or may not publish it in the Sand Mountain Reporter. I'm just kidding, I won't. But you know what I mean? So it just made me looking at it saying, okay, look at this. But if you say, hey, I got spots here, I got this, you tell me what your problems are and your issues, and we'll get it worked out for you. We'll fix it. So anyway, just let me know if you guys want to help. And thank you so much for hanging with me. I'll see y'all later.